Okay, I'm going to tap in here. I'm going to check in here with John Lamb. I don't recall a lot of the details of this, so he's going to fill in some of the blanks for me.
What we had today was, and I can't talk very loud here because I don't have much of a voice, but mainly we was trying to impeach one of the government witnesses.
Mm-hmm.
He's a BLM officer. He brought up some recordings during his testimony, and they only played bits and pieces of it on the first day.
Mm-hmm.
Then we ended up getting to hear the whole thing because there was stuff that seemed like it was being hid. And then Mr. Whipple decided to bring up that he might have done some bribery.
Right.
We're not done with this yet. This has still got a long ways to go with it because we proved today that this agent did lie.
Right.
His partner even lied.
And he admitted it on the stand.
He admitted that on the stand. So some interesting stuff's going to come out. We're still not finished with him. We're going to bring him back. And
right.
We're going to expose this and then hopefully impeach him for his whole testimony.
Beautiful. Hey, I appreciate it, sir.
Day, yeah.
Appreciate all your work.
Thank you.
All right, brother. Save your voice.
Thanks for coming. Yes, thanks.
Yes. Okay, it's Ken with Article 6, and court's wrapping up on Tuesday. Honestly, there was so much went on today. My mind is a little overwhelmed on how to even say what happened today. From 1 o'clock today until, about 4:30 Pacific, they had still the same federal special agent on the stand. He got grilled. He was on the stand all day long. Like my buddy John mentioned, he actually admitted to lying to Ryan Bundy about recording the conversation with Ryan Bundy. Jury questions came up. There were quite a few jury questions. They were asking things like, for example, does the federal government have the authority to boss a county sheriff? They asked about the federal government's ability to record phone conversations with only single consent. The federal government said they do. I don't recall all the rest of the questions, but the point in the jury questioning, the majority of the questions they went ahead and answered. A few of them the judge instructed that she was not going to answer them. But the important point about the jury questioning to me was the fact that the questions they're asking, really, in my mind, the questions they were asking was really all about the federal government's authority and, were they beyond their authority and these types of things. So once again, today was a little overwhelming. Jury was only in the house from about 1:30 till 4:30. Tomorrow morning, court's going to kick off at 8 a.m. The federal agent's still on standby to be called again if he needs to. As I understand, there's going to be another ranger who's going to be the next witness, and we'll see where it goes from there. Ryan Bundy's walking around out here somewhere. Let's see if I can get him in frame. Yeah. Well, I'll get him here in a second. But yeah, Ryan Bundy also asked the judge, and she took him off of house arrest tonight, right as we were exiting. And now he has a curfew, so he can freely travel about his business as he sees fit. He has a 7 o'clock curfew. After that 7 o'clock curfew, then he has to be in the home from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Other than that, he's a free man. He did a great job representing himself. The jury seems to lean up on the tip of their seats whenever Ryan Bundy gets on there and starts questioning witnesses. So he's doing an outstanding job. These patriots are showing their intelligence. They're not a bunch of inbred hillbillies or rednecks like, what the media might try to portray them as. Very articulate, very intelligent. Extremely proud of those guys. Also today I got to hang out with Neil Wampler. I believe I'm saying his name right. And got to hang out with Kenny the Orange Hat Man, if you remember him, from the Malheur Refuge standoff, as they call it. He was hanging out with Pete Santilli. So the famous Orange Hat Man from the Malheur standoff. Yeah, just want to show you respect. A lot of great patriots here. Shauna Cox, of course, got to meet her. If you recall, she was in the vehicle with Lavoy Finicum when federal and state agents opened fire on them and executed Lavoy Finicum. So she's out here on scene. Met Carol Bundy today. And just all the great patriots you see on the news, the internet news, that is, the people you've seen being covered over the last couple of years. So I encourage, if you can slice away some time, it doesn't cost much. And, like I say, I'm here from Florida. you can get cheap airfare if you want to. Show up. Seems to mean quite a bit to these people, to these guys. When people travel all the way as far as Florida, they seem extremely honored by that, just to show the support. And if you can do something, I'm not independently wealthy, but sometimes the right thing to do is just to show up. So I would encourage you, if you decide to do that, maybe reach out to John Lamb for the court schedule, because sometimes they have time off from court. Sometimes court's going on, sometimes it's not. You might reach out with him or one of the Bundys, and they'll be able to let you know what the schedule is. But if you get an opportunity to show up, even if it's only for a few days, I encourage, or I recommend the D Hotel. It's a casino hotel, but it's $20 a night plus resort fees, which basically equals $60 a night. But there's some cheaper hotels here too. So to attend court, you don't need to do anything. Just pass through a couple metal detectors, get here early so you can get in. And anyway, if you can, just show support for these guys. And you know, if you can't, understandably, but you know, maybe consider supporting some of the families financially. So I'm going to walk around and see what's going on with these guys. I wish I had a better, more thorough report for you today, but days like this, there's so much going on, it's really hard to keep track. And quite honestly, I got a pretty good headache over the deal. But we'll be back here tomorrow at 8 a.m. and jury returns tomorrow at 1 for Article 6. It's Ken in Las Vegas, Nevada for the Bundy trial.